Hello and welcome to the section on developing single-view applications. In this section, we are going to cover setting up our project for the application we are going to build. We will go over an overview of Xcode 9. We will take a look at Interface Builder and building the user interface. We will see how views are set up and the hierarchy that they live in. We will discuss Model View Controller and what that means for the applications we build. We will take a look at actions and outlets and how they are hooked up into our interface. We will also generate these actions and outlets and see some of the general problems that we will run into when using actions and outlets. We will also take a look at inserting our view into a scroll view. In this video, we are going to go over setting up our project and creating the project and getting it into a usable state to be able to use for the rest of this course. So we will create our new Xcode project and then clean up and organize the files within that project. So let's get started with creating a new Xcode project. When you open up Xcode, you should be greeted with this welcome window. And here we can create a new Xcode project. When creating a new Xcode project, it will give us a screen and it will give us different options. So these are different templates for single view applications, games, augmented reality applications, document-based apps, and so on. But we only care about the single view application. This is one of the smallest templates that we can work with that doesn't really give us much to work with, but we can customize it to whatever we need without removing a ton of stuff from the other template. So we can now hit next, and we can give our product a name. So the name we will give this is Journal. The team will give you several options. You most likely have a personal team if you have your Apple ID hooked up with your project. If not, you can use none. It is not required anymore to have a developer account to be able to use Xcode and create apps, so you can get away with using none. And then your organization name and your organization identifier. If you don't have an organization name, you can leave that blank. But for the organization identifier, you have to use some kind of unique name, which is usually in this reverse DNS format. So a web page is normally www.somewebpage.com. In this case, you would do com.somewebpage. And then whatever your product name is. So in this case, the bundle identifier already gives us the product name, which is Journal, and this com.up131 is my own website. Next, for the language, we have the options of Swift and Objective-C. This course will be covering Swift, so we will select that. And then we have the option to use core data, unit test, and UI test. We're going to leave all those blank because we're not going to be using core data and we're not going to be writing any tests for this project. So now we can hit next. It will ask us where we want to save that. I'm just going to save it in this default folder. You can pick somewhere if it's your documents folder or your desktop wherever you feel comfortable saving it. And now our project is created, and we can see that we have some folders here on the side. And I like to organize this just to get my project set up. So I'm going to go into the app delegate, and I'm going to delete all of the methods here, except for the one that we need, and that's this did finish launching with options. And then I'm going to remove the space here, just to clean it up, to make it look more usable. And then I like to put the assets, the launch screen, and the info into their own group. So if you right click with those selected and say new group from selection, you can select those, and I like to call that group resources. We don't use them very often, so I'll leave that minimized because we don't really need to see those additional files. The view controller, I'm going to delete that file because we are going to end up creating our own. And then we have our main storyboard.